The country that flags more cargo ships than any nation on Earth does not own a single one of them. That country is Liberia. Its flag flies on ships, carrying roughly 16% of all merchant cargo tonnage on the ocean, more than the United States, more than China, more than any shipping power you can name. Liberia does not own these ships. It does not crew them. Its government does not routinely inspect them. The organization that actually runs the Liberian Ship Registry operates out of an office park in the state of Virginia. Panama is the same story. Its flag covers roughly 14% of global tonnage, run by a registry with no meaningful presence in Panama itself. The Marshall Islands is third, a Pacific nation of about 40,000 people whose registry covers another 11%, administered from an office in Reston, Virginia. 3 countries, over 40% of everything shipped on Earth, and none of them are shipping nations in any sense you'd recognize. They are registry nations. They sell the right to fly their flag the way a company sells a product, to owners who have no connection to the country at all. And almost 3/4 of the entire global fleet is built this way. This didn't start as a shipping strategy. It started as a workaround. In the 1920s, the United States banned alcohol on American soil and on American-flagged ships. Owners who wanted to keep serving drinks on ocean liners found a fix: register the ship somewhere else. Panama had a young government and no maritime rules to speak of, so it said yes. The ships kept their bars. And owners noticed something bigger than the alcohol. A foreign flag also meant foreign labor law. No U.S. wage floors, no U.S. manning requirements. The savings on a single voyage were real. Across a whole fleet, for decades, they were enormous. After World War II, a former U.S. Secretary of State helped build a second registry from scratch in Liberia, structured so the fees split between the Liberian government and the American company running the operation. Liberia supplied the sovereignty. Americans supplied the administration. That split, sovereignty from one place, control from another, is still exactly how it works today. So why does an owner actually use one of these flags? 4 reasons, and they stack. Taxation first. Open registries charge no corporate income tax on shipping profits. A Greek shipping family running vessels under the Liberian flag pays Liberia nothing, and often qualifies for exemptions back home too. Compounded across a fleet, across decades, that's not a rounding error. Labor second. Open registries have no nationality requirement for crew. A ship flying Panama's flag can staff officers from the Philippines, ratings from Indonesia, an engineer from India, whoever costs least, wherever they're from. That's the entire foundation of the global seafarer labor market this channel has covered before. Regulatory flexibility third. Weak flag states run weak inspection programs. An owner who wants to push a maintenance survey back, delay a certificate renewal, or keep a vessel running past its healthy service. Life has an easier time doing it under Panama than under almost any developed nation's flag. And liability containment fourth. Stack a shell company in the Marshall Islands, a flag from Liberia, and a management office in Greece, and you've built several legal walls between whatever goes wrong on that ship and anyone who could actually be forced to pay for it. There's a fifth layer to this that owners rarely talk about publicly: classification societies. Every ship needs a class certificate to get insured and to enter most major ports, verifying the vessel is structurally sound. But class societies compete for business too, and an owner unhappy with a strict inspector can simply switch to a more accommodating class society at renewal time, the same way they'd switch flag states. A ship can carry a respected flag and a weak class society, or a weak flag and a respected class society, mixing and matching the exact level of scrutiny it wants to be under. The flag of convenience system was never just about the flag. It's a menu, and the owner picks every item on it separately. Here's the part that turns this from a tax story into something closer to a market for negligence. Registries compete against each other for volume every year, the same way any business competes for customers. Port state control authorities across Europe and Asia keep something called a performance list, sorting every flag state into white, gray, or black, based on how many of their ships get detained for safety violations. A registry with a bad list ranking loses customers to a registry with a better one. So the incentive isn't just to avoid enforcing standards, it's to actively market lighter enforcement as a selling point over rival registries. When a ship registered somewhere with almost no inspection capacity runs into serious trouble, the flag state is legally the party responsible for investigating what happened. Many open registries have no independent investigative body of their own. When a tanker breaks up and spills oil off a coastline, the country whose waters get fouled often has more actual capacity to respond than the country whose flag was on the ship. The legal responsibility and the practical capability sit in two completely different places, and that gap is where accountability quietly disappears. The International Transport Workers Federation runs inspectors through 109 ports in 55 countries, with one job: board flag of convenience ships and check whether the crew is actually being paid what their contract says. Last year alone, those inspectors ran over 9,000 inspections. They recovered more than $45 million in wages that had already been earned, on voyages already completed, and simply never paid out. Some of the worst cases aren't just unpaid wages, they're full abandonment. An owner runs out of money or simply disappears, and the crew is left on a ship in a foreign port with no fuel, no food budget, and no flag state showing up to make anyone answer for it. If you've made it this far, you already know more about how a cargo ship actually works than most people who've been on a cruise. Drop the name of the flag you'd be least surprised to see on a ship abandoning its own crew. Comoros, Palau, Gabon, whatever comes to mind, in the comments. And if this is the kind of system nobody explains to you until it's laid out like this, that's exactly what a like tells the algorithm to go find for the next person scrolling past it. The extreme version of everything you just heard is the one you've probably already seen in the news. Russia's sanctioned oil tankers, reflagged under Comoros, Gabon, and Palau. Registries that ask almost nothing and enforce even less. The Shadow Fleet didn't invent this loophole. It just found the one that was already sitting there, built for exactly this kind of use, decades before anyone needed to hide a tanker from sanctions. International law actually has a rule against all of this. The UN Convention on the Law of the Sea requires a genuine link between a country and the ships it registers, meaning the flag is supposed to mean something. No international body has ever had the power to strip a country of its registry for ignoring that rule. The flag states have every incentive to keep selling flags. The owners have every incentive to keep buying them. The law that was written to stop this system is not the law that runs it. The countries that actually build and own the world's ships, Greece, Japan, Germany, China, Norway, don't even show up near the top of the flag rankings because their own owners have chosen someone else's flag. Greece owns more ship value than any country on the planet, and you'll find almost none of it sailing under the Greek flag. Next time a cargo ship shows up in a news story, an accident, an abandoned crew, a sanctions dodge, look at the flag in the report. It tells you which country's laws technically apply. It doesn't tell you who owns the ship, who's crewing it, or whether anyone with real authority is watching at all. Whatever's in the box that shows up at your door probably crossed an ocean under a flag that has nothing to do with who actually built it, owns it, or answers for it if something goes wrong.